So EU funding is competitive, right? And well, the difference between getting funded or rejected is often your partnerships. But the point is, most consortia get it wrong. We'll look into that today. First of all, we'll break down the project readiness pyramid, the framework, the second step of that framework, and we'll look at how to build smarter partnerships to improve impact. Then we'll take a deep dive in the interview with Erçan on what works in real collaborations. He'll be talking with us from Turkey, and he'll explain why it's not Turkey. And finally, we'll analyze the open call you don't want to miss, Erasmus CoVE. Okay, stay with me, and we'll look into this. Let's go.
Welcome back to InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles. In Episode 1, we introduced the EU Project Readiness Pyramid, PRP, a three-step framework for turning an idea into a fundable EU project. In Episode 2, we explored Step 1, ideas, breaking down how to craft innovative project concepts that align with EU funding priorities. Today, we move to Step 2, partnerships, because even the best idea won't get funded without the right team to execute it. We'll break down what makes a winning EU project partnership, the three-step process to finding and securing high-impact partners and common mistakes, and how to avoid them. Plus, our new AI-powered tool, Build Your Winning Consortium with AI, is now live. More on that later. Step 2 of the EU Project Readiness Pyramid is where a great idea meets real-world execution. Winning EU projects have partners that meet 4 key criteria. Capability alignment. Do your partners have the right expertise? Geographic and sectoral diversity. EU projects thrive on cross-border collaboration. Commitment and engagement. Paper partners weaken proposals. Get letters of commitment. Lock. Early. Proven collaboration track record. Have your partners worked on EU projects before? Our AI tool analyzes project needs and suggests top partners based on past funding success. How do you secure high-value partners? Follow this proven 3-step approach. Step 1. Map your needs and identify gaps. Assess missing expertise and use tools like Build Your Winning Consortium with AI. Step 2. Target and engage potential partners. Find partners via Cordis, Erasmus Plus networks, LinkedIn, past collaborations. Led with value. Explain why they're a great fit. Step 3. Validate and secure partnerships. Lock in commitment with letters of commitment, lock, before proposal submission. Confirm resource availability and institutional support. Pro tip, our AI tool automates partner matching based on expertise and funding history. Many projects fail due to weak consortia. Avoid these pitfalls. Paper partners that don't contribute. Solution, choose partners with real expertise and engagement. Unclear roles and responsibilities. Solution, define work packages, KPIs and contributions clearly, ignoring partner incentives. Solution, align project success with each partner's goals, policy, R&D, market expansion. A well-structured partnership equals a stronger proposal and smoother execution. Here's what you should do next. Take your project idea and map your partnership needs. Identify missing expertise and search for high-value partners. Use Build Your Winning Consortium with AI to get AI-powered partner suggestions. Want access to the AI tool? Visit the InnovEU website on Substack. Click the podcast tab. Next time, we move to the final step, proposals, where we craft a winning submission that ranks high with evaluators. If this was helpful, share it with your network and leave a review.
So welcome everyone to InnovEU. We have with us Erçan Küçükarslan. I hope I pronounced it decently, from Turkey. Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, starting where you are, where in Turkey.
I'm based in Ankara, the capital city of Turkey. what we need to say as Turkey, as because of the name officially changed since last 3 years, which is also recognized by the United Nations. From now on, whenever you see Turkey, which is the right one, also in most of the documents all over the Europe. I am joining you on behalf of a regional authority which is named as MAMAK, Directorate of National Education, which is the main authority for the regions in Turkey, representing more than 400 educational institutions, including all kinds of educational institutions giving services at ages, almost all ages, depending on the purpose of the educational institution. I'm lecturing on electronics also in one of the vocational centers in this region since last 30 years, dealing with the European projects on behalf of those two institutions since last 20 years. In the meantime, I'm also a member of different management boards of different foundations in the city, which is very active in the health sector, also mainly in education sectors in specific topics, which is the owner of hospitals, clinics all around the city. Let me share with you also some numbers from those institutions. In the regional authority, we are trying to guide more than 7,000 teachers to get them more interactive in European-based initiatives, giving guidance them, mostly the Erasmus Plus projects, how it's possible to get in contact with the European peers. We are together with more than 100,000 students, learners in the region, in different institutions. We are also trying to get them more active in European-based interaction. So the headmasters trying to get them more active in the similar initiatives. We are also active in the foundations. Sometimes we prefer to work in the foundations in specific topics, depending on the proposal content, the target groups described in the project. For example, if it's needed to give an example, nowadays we are working with the bakeries to get them more active with the new recipes also for the proposal in the bakeries. Sometimes we were able to work with the prisons, the staff who is working in the prisons to provide them the necessary upskilling trainings for the purpose of acting with new approach, new techniques in the prisons. I guess we are going to talk about also the proposals, the project initiative. So let me give up giving information in this sense.
Sure. No, thank you for clearing that issue about the name of the country, because actually it's easier for me. That's exactly how we pronounce it in Portuguese, Turquia. So, but why did that change happen? Do you know what was the idea?
I don't know the background, but it was changed. I didn't check it yet, but I will check it after this meeting.
Okay, great. So you mentioned your long experience with the EU-funded projects. You mentioned 20 years. That's quite some time. From that experience, what's the main difficulty you find with this architecture of EU-funded projects?
It's always difficult if you try something for the first time. When I started the year of 2005, it was the first year that we were involved in European programs as a full member representing the country. There were not much enough training that we were able to reach how to react with the European peers, the institutions, it was difficult to reach also the similar institutions to get in interact with them. In the meantime, it was not very active to use the Google or web-based search engines were not much active, so we were trying to get in contact with any connection already connected for use in European countries to get the help to reach the right institutions. It was my first experience to reach some institutions in Manchester, in England, for the first time.
Mhm.
There were some educational fairs held in my country, so I was visiting different stands, universities, vocational centers, which is called as colleges, to invite them to be together with any kind of European-based initiatives. The first difficulty was that, and the second one is to get familiar as institutions, because it was also the new for the educational hierarchic structure. It was difficult to find the colleagues to work together. Sometimes it was challenging to convince the headmasters, to convince them to interact with European peers. But after years, I guess Turkey is the most popular country interacting in Erasmus Plus, especially, and we are accepting in Turkey the highest number of applications submitted in Turkey since last maybe 5 years, 6 years, and also getting the, let's say, in most of the years, the biggest portion of the total amount allocated to Erasmus Plus. Not the most one, but always in the first 5, 6 countries because of the applications submitted, and also the population is getting quite higher, so it may be another reason to reach those kind of stages in Turkey.
Well, that leads me to another question. What do you think how do you see the impact of these projects? I mean, what I usually see is people saying this was very good because we got 2 million euros, 20 million euros. They put euros in the result and they say it's good. I never saw an evaluation of the impact of these projects. Maybe it's my problem. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there are studies, but I never saw any study that would go more farther away than the number of euros and measure the impact. Does this change anything? Did these projects change anything in people's lives in countries?
According to my opinion, we are lucky in this case, as it's seen the total number of the applications submitted, as it's seen still it's one of the most popular topic in Turkey. When we are trying to reach to any kind of target groups, it is much more easier than the rest of the European countries. For example, as I shared with you some numbers from the regional authority, we are just one region in Ankara, just one of the regions, but we are able to reach more than 7,000 teachers, as because of the younger generation. I guess the youngest one in European Union among the program countries. It seems the right target groups when we are holding any kind of closing ceremonies, the conferences, the multiplayer events, is full of teachers, is full of students, the target group members. It's still very popular in our case. So it affects also the impact. When we see the reactions from the target groups in each projects, Sometimes we are also working in specific topics with specific target groups. It's not much challenging to come together with the target groups at the stage of the implementation of the research stages. We are able to get quite much KPIs to get feedback from the target groups. It's also the same for the rest of the parties of the projects, the stakeholders. We are not representing only one or two institutions. When we are involving in any initiatives, we are acting more than one institutions, although we are just one institutions, because associates forming a wider network in our case in the region. When we are involving in any projects, let's say with the bakeries, rest of the parties, the municipalities, the chambers, and also the third sector representatives are joining us together as associate. Doesn't matter how many partners already involved as the main partner in the consortiums. So we are still lucky about that for the impact. We are able to include also the outputs to the ongoing training activities in the region. We work together with the representatives, different branch managers in the ministry. Just 2 days before, we were visiting to share one of our project's outputs as because of the lobbying activities for the last stage just before the closing ceremony. We were visiting the universities, also rest of the regional decision makers. So it is easy if you are visiting any authority manager or any decision maker, community leader. We are just calling them if they are available, receiving very easily a slot to share our projects. They are also happy, very welcomed to know that there is an initiative which is European based, already ongoing on behalf of the institutions working under their responsibility. So the impact, so the rest of the activities are very popular. So we are also lucky in this case, according to, in our case, especially in our region.
Now, let me ask you about you personally. I guess if you didn't like this activity, you wouldn't be doing it for 20 years. So obviously you like this, but in these activities connected with the EU-funded projects, I mean, writing proposals, executing projects, writing the reporting for those projects, what's your favorite activity? What do you like the best?
In our personal experience, all stages are quite valuable from my side, because in each stage we are coming together with the colleagues in some networking activities, annual activities in different cities of the European Union, also in online sometimes. At the stage of exchanging our ideas is a kind of valuable activity, which is followed by another activity at the stage of the composing proposal in an online environment, mostly the Google Docs, on an online documents that we are starting to work together in different parts. This kind of interaction is also very valuable. To be inactive in any kind of digital environment is also another exciting side of this kind of process, because we feel ourselves very skilled on digital environment, makes us very happy, as because of the originally we are already lecturers, most of the colleagues, so it makes us happy to be updated always with the necessary skills for the century, because we are feeling ourselves confident and very happy in the classes when we were lecturing those kind of experiences to sharing with the target groups, the students, because the main part of our profession, I guess, the students, the learners, because the main target group they are. So when we are reaching any kind of resources that we can share with them, makes us happy. If it's also the updated one, it makes them happy. So we are all together happy. At the stage of the, I guess, most exciting part that I realized at the moment, to wait for the results, almost 6 months. I always think that if we can't do this profession in the future in a day, when we are reaching an old age in the future, so how is possible to spend those 6 months? Because it's most of the exciting part of the year that we are waiting the results of our efforts, which is mostly allocating almost 3 months of the year. So after its approval, another excursion, another excitement side of our life is starting. There is a saying in Turkish that if you are trying to explain something, so you can use any kind of simulation between the cases. For example, I say that if we have a project is approved, seems like having a new baby, because it will be getting older day by day, 2 years, 3 years, depending on the schedule of the project. So we are getting another baby that we have to feed by the European colleagues together for the following 2 3 years, makes is also another excitement for that. Also the following stages, implementation stage, sometimes some challenges, depending on the activities, depending on the reaction of the target groups. Sometimes the closing part and reporting part also sometimes is challenging, but in any way, almost, I guess, most of the process is already quite exciting for all of us.
Let me make you two more questions. One is, what kind of projects would you like to be running in the future? You want to stay with the Erasmus Plus projects? Do you aim to go for other kinds of projects? What are your plans on that area?
It's a kind of a lifestyle for us to be inside in any kind of process related to any kind of projects. So in this case, it's also affecting in our local projects, affecting also rest of our lives, always planning the schedule for the following days. Nowadays, it's not limited only to Erasmus Plus. Also, it's affecting local projects already applying, not only applying, sometimes forming with our inner resources of the region to deal with any local projects. Nowadays, it's getting more popular and exciting to work in other continents, because Erasmus Plus make it possible to work in Africa, also in Western Balkan. It's also possible to work in Ukraine. So nowadays we have also a project proposal composition is already running with the Ukrainian colleagues, also with the colleagues in Africa, interacting with new cultures to exchange our experience with different continents, makes it more exciting nowadays. Nowadays, Erasmus Plus is planning to extend its effect area in the world, because especially the Horizon Europe it's extending its effect area to Canada nowadays. Venezuela, I guess, memorandum was signed. So it's not limited with the Erasmus Plus. Also, different kinds of calls in the following months. The virtual exchange is also very exciting. It doesn't matter not to see each other face to face, as because of the technological developments make it possible to make also virtual exchange with the African universities. So no, we are planning to do something also in this case. It's not limited only to Erasmus Plus.
Mhm.
Also, rest of the programs are running, but we are not able to allocate enough time to deal with the rest of the cause, the United Nations, US aid, a lot of another opportunities already running Interreg, especially in the Mediterranean region of the country. So there are so many activities, opportunities that we are dealing to inform our communities. All of those kind of opportunities to get them aware of interacting. It's also very, I think, very valuable to interact each other, not only with the European countries, also with the rest of the continents.
Sure. I like it when you say it's a lifestyle. I see
Yeah, I
it
think
that way
so.
as well. Yeah, it actually makes a different lifestyle. Yeah, when you work in this area.
The most valuable part is to give contribution, the skills that we reach at the end of the day because of this kind of interaction with our target groups. When we are together with the peers, with our students or any member of the target groups in abroad, also hosting them in our city. So different kinds of skills to load our target groups, because it's also the skills that they are needing for the future.
Sure. Okay, so we have to close. Before we end, would you like to leave some final message? I don't know, maybe about your institutions, yourself, about the future. Any final message?
As because of talking in this kind of European-based interaction, I can say only that let's make Erasmus Plus bigger than ever, because we see on behalf of our country, Turkey is getting quite much benefit for this kind of programs under Erasmus Plus. So let's include as many as target group members, institutions can interact, can be in this kind of interaction in the future. So I wish to thank you also this kind of opportunity, which make it is a popular all target group members and institutions. I just only wish to thank you for this kind of opportunity on behalf of the institutions that I am representing, on behalf of the Turkey, as because of involving us in this kind of interaction. It's happy to be together with the European peers always, and I hope we can be together with an integrated Turkey to the European Union at the end of this road. Hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that too. The more integration, the more peace, I believe. But okay, let me
agree.
thank you for being here, and let me remind all the viewers, all the audience, that your contacts will be available in the podcast notes. So anyone who wishes to get in touch with you for future partnerships or whatever, they can find your contacts in the podcast notes. So thank you very much, Erçan, for this time of your day and for this interview. And I hope to see you soon.
Hope so. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Are you ready to take vocational education and training to the next level? The European Union is funding centers of vocational excellence, CoVEs, an opportunity to create smarter partnerships and drive real impact in skills development. CoVEs bring together educators, businesses, and policymakers to build high-quality training programs that match the evolving labor market. Whether you're focused on digital transformation, sustainability, or industry innovation, this is your chance to shape the future of vocational education. Who can apply? Public and private VT institutions, businesses and industry associations, research centers, innovation hubs, and regional development agencies, local, regional, and national authorities. Form a strong international partnership with at least 8 organizations from 4 Erasmus Plus countries and bring your vision to life. Apply now. The deadline is May 7th, 2025. The EU offers funding of up to €4 million per project. Don't miss this opportunity to make a difference. For full details and to submit your application, visit the EU Funding and Tenders portal today.
InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles, is a weekly video podcast. Please subscribe to Polyxoc's newsletter to receive every podcast episode. And if you like receiving it, please press like in whatever platform you are watching or listening. Also, please share InnovEU and Polyxoc with anyone you feel will enjoy it. Credits, author and host Fernando C. Gaspar, music Hugo Gaspar, Lisbon, Portugal, 2024. Reach us by email or DM.